Aries, this is Christelle Martinette, and as you can see, this is a different setup here, and there are several reasons for that. I'm trying different things, but there's also, I'm going to be changing the type of work that I'll be doing, but I'll be giving you messages all along. We'll see where my road takes me. One of the reasons for this is that I have it's as if I inherited it. I've received a very powerful, high vibrational stone, a moldavite. And those of you who know crystals know a lot about moldavite, and it's extremely powerful. All I have to say is that I was near the stone for a little over 40 minutes, and I got a headache. It was so strong. I have to take it in small dosage. So the next time I'll be scrying, in about a week's time, I'll be taking it out and I'll be using it in my sessions a little more. But I'm going to now start a reading for Aries, and I'll put timestamps down underneath the video, and you'll see from the changing pictures that I will be giving my reading. I have with me a tarot deck called Tarot de la Muja, which is a specific tarot deck that you may have heard of before, and they're very soft images, very tender. There's some of the meanings of the cards do go to they relate to Rider-Waite. They take from that, but not all of them. They're very interesting cards. And I have here as well my Tiger Eyes runes that I'm going to be starting. So let me cast those for you, Aries. Well, you know, there was a friend who said, well, you know, you can't really control the runes. You can you can control. We were talking about, we were doing readings for each other, and she said, let me take the runes out because they're just very straightforward. You can't do much with runes. You just can't interpret them as you wish, you know. And there was she had a point there, and so this is why I decided to start with the runes. Now, for you, Aries, I've got here some an extremely important message. First of all, they're asking you to be patient, because timing is of the essence, and timing is the entire value behind what is coming up for you. And this is for the second half of September. There is more work that you have to do going within, and this, you know, may be a chore for you, because it seems that, you know, how low can we go, how deep can we go, how much in depth can we go. Now, they're telling you a number of messages. First of all, that you need to go within and under the surface, in depth, in the manner that you best know. You find that for yourself. It's a very cryptic message, Aries, but what I'm hearing is this. And also there's algae here. There's an umbrella of protection, if we can call it that. Not only this, there's a straight arrow. It's like an arrow that they have fallen into the runes, where the main branch of the arrow is the timing factor, the message of going within, and the fundamental necessity to do that. On either sides of the arrow, the two sides that point, that lead to the point, talk of you in your own way will be receiving protection. The key word here is is in your own way. Do it your way. And you need to be yourself. It's coming out over and over again. You need to be yourself in order for you to be successful. And this leads to both a transformation and a face-to-face love. This is a connection. You're going toward a connection, and it's as if there's a I would like to say the fickle finger of fate, but it's not that. There's a strong movement that is bringing you to a place. I'm seeing it as a place. I'm not necessarily seeing it as a time, because it seems, I don't want to talk in linear time. It's bringing you to a place where you're going to undergo in time. There's how we can talk about time. You're going to go in time toward a transformation and a meeting face to face with yourself. And how that's going to play out is being face to face with someone else where you can see your reflection. It's an extremely beautiful message. I'm going to now shuffle the cards. This Tarot de la Mucha. Tarot de la Mucha. And see what they have to add. Yes, I can see the fear that you have. There's an underlying fear, because the fear comes to you from this bizarre mechanism whereby you realize the fundamental necessity to do what I have just said. But it's as if you're walking toward your destiny, and it's scaring the pants off of you. Now, it's a battle with yourself. Okay, we're going through a battle with yourself toward that goal. But on the underlying everything is this lovely magician. And the next time I read, I'll bring these cards and show you through the video. And the Six of Coins. And the Six of Coins is the card that speaks of protection. You have a few things on your side. One is you're not wanting for finance, economic goods. You are not suffering that currently. And of course, not all Aries are the same. This is true. But what I'm seeing here is that you have the power to be able to make or break your life and your fate. It is a battle because you're battling out, not looking at yourself in the mirror, but the demons that you have erected to a place of statuesque importance. All of the people in your life who you thought you loved, and then you didn't, and then you did. That other person that you dated, but that became important, but then he or she wasn't, but then they were. And every time you fell in love, it was the greatest love. Okay? This is the battle that you're waging with yourself, and waging against all of those that have come before this next one. Because it seems that you're going toward a place that you have never been, Aries. And I'm glad I'm here to talk to you about it and tell you about it. And what this beautiful mix between the Six of Pentacles and the Magician tell me is that one, you should fare leva su when you feel that nightmarish sensation come about. You just need to raise your head and think of how much support you have and how much stability you have at the current time. Also, when you are a bit of, you're feeling a bit disempowered and you're afraid to make the next move because around you there seems to be quicksand, take in your hand what you can consider magic and work your magic fighting against the demons that are holding you back in this very extremely very important moment. Why am I saying it's so important? We have this this lunar eclipse on the 16th. There's the equinox the following week. This is, if anybody has ever defined it, it's a rite of passage. You have to necessarily leave behind things that have not worked for you. People, places, objects, material goods. Take a huge bag and throw it all away. You know the feeling when you lose your mobile, and for just one moment you feel elated because you think, oh my God, it's a new life. I've got to get rid of all of that and start it again. You can tell that this is the voice of experience. It's happened often to me. Now, what I want you to leave you with is another message that I'm getting from this obsidian. And obsidian is, well, this is peacock obsidian. That there, you cannot mix pleasures. And what do I mean by that? I mean that there are decisions to make and you're going to have to make decisions. I want to always say you can have it all. Sure you can. But to really enjoy what you really desire, you need to give it your all. And this is the moment, right now, Aries, that you're being asked to give it your all. Let's roll up our sleeves and start it. Marching. Good for you, Aries. Namaste, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to all my new subscribers. Till we read again. Now, let me take that up and start with shuffling again and talk to my Taurus friends. Taurus, this, as we mentioned before, is a time where we're being asked to get rid of the old more so than ever before, or instead of getting rid of the old, acknowledging that there are things to be lifted and you need to be lightened. Your load needs to be lightened. Let's take a look, Taurus, at what is here in store for you with the runes, what they have to say. You, Taurus, are moving. You're moving ahead. All right, what I have here is, and I believe that the last, the month of September, perhaps even August, there was part of this message. Well, it's coming home to roost now. You'll find and you'll feel that the decisions that you want to make now are being made only by yourself. And it's a very paradoxical message these runes are giving me, because I have Gifu here and it's in line with Manat's Merkstave. And whereas you are enriched from the exchange that you have with your loved ones and those dear to you, your journeying is requiring you to take that take all the good and forge ahead on your own. Now, why it's saying this is that you've put off for a good while going into uncharted waters for you. You have put off going beneath the surface. You've put off that in favor of trying to see if now is the time I can get my new car. Perhaps might not be the right time, but maybe it could be. What about if I get a motorcycle and then instead, these kind of reasoning patterns. And what we're looking at is a time where, for some reason, and it will be different, a different reason for all of you, because I'm seeing some Taurus who are starting this inward travel because, say, their brother or sister or a very close relative has surprised you by making a decision to go abroad. And all of a sudden that has struck you. You're very happy for them, but it just dawned on you, they're leaving. When am I going to see them again? And then you start reviewing your life and thinking, but sure, I could do that, but what do I really want? Can I do that? Would I be able to do what they are doing? Could that be possible? And what I'm getting is that you would love to. You would love to. But you look at your side, and those of you who are partnered see another person, and you think to yourself, well, no. And you start to revisit this relationship. You're not questioning for one moment the love that you have for the person next to you, those who are partnered. What you're thinking is, who am I in relation to them? What am I doing in relation to them? And chances are, from what I'm seeing here in the runes, that, of course, it has nothing to do with them, but your path will remain the same. And this is what is so interesting about the messages that the runes have, because you're going toward a hard lesson that you're going to learn. And the lesson is, who is this person I've been incorporated in? Who is this body? What is this body I am in? All of a sudden, you have a soul, Taurus. And I don't say that lightly. All of a sudden, I'm seeing the soul for something that it is, something different. I'm looking at it from a different perspective. And it's quite interesting to see that, because what you then feel is that this process brings you to a stronger relationship with the person next to you, but not only, it also brings you to the notion that you're ready to go to your own home. Many of you who are living still at home, or those who live with other people who would really like their own space, there's a movement here. But mostly it's really not about physical movement. It's about knowing what home means to me, what home is all about. Let me take the tarot now, the Mucha Tarot, and see what they have to add. Yes, let me bring it up. you will be experiencing this period as a period is that would be, could possibly potentially lead to deep scars in the heart, because you're thinking, what am I doing? I'm questioning the persons around me. But it's not about that. It's about questioning your values for yourself. It's questioning what people mean to you, but more importantly, what you mean to yourself. And it's quite interesting to see this, because on the same level as the questioning and the potential difficulty with the heart is the idea that it is precisely this pattern, this movement, this looking, seeking out, that is going to bring you direction. Now remember that. Remember, when you just start to feel that you're going to lose it, this is going to bring you direction. Not only, it's going to leave behind the burdens that you have felt of late. It's as if you lose all of the burdens you've had. Your overburdened self of the past is going to go to a different place. Not only that, you recognize and acknowledge the wealth that you have accumulated, and I mean spiritual as well as financial wealth that you have accumulated. But at the same time, you acknowledge the fact that you can, at any second of your day, lose it all. And so this is how you start this transformative movement, journey, if we can call it this, journeying to your home through a, how can I say, through a pattern of recognizing something for what it is, understanding that it is or is not serving you, and removing it. Little patterns of transformation, small patterns of transformation that will ultimately bring you closer to that loved one, the actual perceived loved one, the person you have next to you, and the other side of you, those who are not partnered. I'm going to take now the Gracipila here just to clarify something for me, and it has to do with the there is a death card here, and it has to do with this small transformative nature. Yes, indeed, it has to do with bringing happiness back into your heart. You'll be given a gift, Taurus, and it will be the gift of unconditional love. Not that you will receive it, but that you will understand what unconditional love is. And for you to be able to do that, you're going to have to get rid of one pattern that didn't serve you well. I hope this was of help to you, Taurus, for the second half of September. And I do welcome all my new subscribers, Taurus subscribers, until we read together again. Bye-bye. Hello, Cancer and Gemini. I'm going to start with Gemini, of course. Gemini, I have here the runes. You can hear them. And they're antler runes. I blooded them, so I have a very, very close connection with them. And I'll start with those and then open other decks. But I need you to concentrate when I have to choose the deck. I'm going to I chose the rune set. Okay, we have 3 out and 1 just came out trickling in the end. Now, it's as if I'm getting similar messages for a lot of people. There's a really moving forward fine. We all move forward in our mind when we think of linear time. But moving forward for you, Gemini, means something completely different this period of time. The second half of September, especially since Friday, the lunar eclipse, you're going to feel it rather strongly. And in the here and now, it's as if you have two perceptions, a perception of closeness and a perception of dynamics which are far away from you. The perception that you're having of the immediacy of your time period, the immediacy of the now period, of these 2 weeks period, is that you're standing still. You seem to yourself that you're standing still. But what I actually see, and these are, I'm going to pull a few more, cast a few more. What I actually see is that what happens to you now, and the experiences, the psychic experience that you have now, is what will propel you forward in time. It's going to be marking time. It's as if what you're doing now is going to establish the way you move forward in your life. It's going to be the nature, so keep very close attention on what occurs to you and how things develop in these precise moments, because that's the way they're going to go forward for the rest of your life, I would say. And them's fighting words, them's mighty powerful words. Because right in the center I have weird, and weird right next to Monad's Merkstave, and it's a very personal experience. The personal experience that you're experiencing in the surrounding period of this lunar eclipse on the 16th. Again, here, as I've seen for others, I see that there's a highly protective nature in the musings, in the dealings, in the way you go about things. And not by chance the runes are telling you that you're bringing, it's like a snail. You know, the snail carries its house on it. It's similar to that. As you move, as you go, whatever you do, you have your house on your shoulders. You're carrying your house with you. You know, the expression house is where you hang your hat. Well, your hat is on you, and you're making the world your home, literally. Now, regardless of whether you are partnered or are alone momentarily, what they're saying is you are a part of a web, and this is you wouldn't be here if you didn't believe that. But what is fundamental is the way you proceed by standing on your own 2 feet more, not without any help from your friends. I don't mean that, but the awareness that you are going it with your own forces. You're moving forward with your own forces. In this flower, they've composed a flower, the runes in this flower that I have of the casting, right in the center is ingot, which tells us that it's perfect the way it is. The way you're going to go forward will show you the perfection of the development. Now, it seems difficult to understand these words, but they're asking you to give yourself time, and they're asking you to acknowledge your own gifts and your own developments, your own ideas, and how ultimately it is you taking the responsibility for what you do that will condition your days. Now I want you to concentrate very, very, very carefully. I have 3 tarot decks here, and I need to get a message from you. which tarot deck I like to use, that I should use. I have the Voodoo New Orleans Tarot, I have the Egyptian Tarot, and I have the La Muja Tarot. Take a second. Okay, I have the Voodoo Tarots come up. I'm going to mix this deck as we speak. For those of you interested in what I do visit my website. You'll see that on the intro to this long video. And take a look. If you're interested, write to me. A lot of people ask me, well, would you do this? Could you do that? Could you put out a video for me? Could you? I just want an email reading. Well, that's not the way I work. All right, I understand we're all busy, but I need contact with you. I can't tune in. My days are just as busy as anyone else. If I don't hear somebody's voice, I can't work. I can't work like that. I'm a clairaudient person, most of all. Let's see what the tarot have to add to this. I have the Moldavite stone right in front of me on a pedestal, staring at me. There's a lot of personal nourishing going on. Nurturing is what I wanted to say. You understand that it's time to give yourself great hugs. Now, as you go forward, and again, I'm using that time metaphor, moving in time. As you go forward, your days are conditioned by all the metal and cement around you, alternated with people holding animals, people with dogs on a leash in parks, people tending to animals, feeding animals. And it's as if you have an area where you spend your days. Probably a work environment, may not be. It could be travel in a car a lot. But that is the surroundings that I'm looking at in this period of time. Also, there's I'm throwing this out. This is coming to me. I have here before me a vision of a person holding a hot water bottle to their tummy, where all the steam comes up, and the steam acts not like steam, but it's voices that come out. It's as if you're missing the warmth, as if you're missing the womb and the time that you were there, and aching for a female figure, a mother figure. And you want to hear the voice again. You want to be soothed by that. At the same time, though, your time spent attending to, not without any movement in the beginning, and that's the way I started the reading when I said it's not going to be movement per se. You're going to be delving deep down into your very, very core. Well, at the same time, I see that you're aching for that figure, aching to be back in the womb. But at the same time, I see you snickering, as if in an out-of-body experience, snickering and watching all the rest of the souls going about their merry way, incarnated. And as if, and again, there are two sides. You're Gemini, true to the nature perhaps. I don't have any Gemini in my chart at all, but true to your nature, it seems that you're able to do both the nurturing, requesting nurturing, snicker and almost laugh at how others have to look and do the same, but then also dance upon every soul, every occurrence, every everything that happens to you. So it's as if you're taking things in stride, almost, and I'm saying almost, trying to sidestep that going down into depth. And I see that very clearly, because it seems to be, Gemini, for you a bit painful. Go through those motions. You can remove yourself and dance upon other souls. There's a time to dance, there's a time to eat, there's a time to pray, there's a time to think. This is your time to go within and then go without, you know. Of course, I did mention that we don't like to, and I don't specifically like to be conditioned by linear time, but I see that you can more, probably better than most, go through that inner journey and at the same time dance in another timeline, fully aware that you're able to do that, fully aware. Well, I hope this was of help to you, Gemini, and I'd like to thank all of my new Gemini subscribers for joining me. Namaste, and until we read together again. Now I'm going to go on to Cancer. Cancer, I have here the runes, the same set of runes. And try to concentrate for me while I mix them in the bag and before I cast them, so what will come up may be able to speak to you more. Okay, many people I have read for these days, and these free readings that I'm doing are giving me the message that the journey is here, the journey is now. And it's not an exception. You are not an exception, Cancer. Whereas you do have interaction with others, that's undoubtedly the case. And that interaction actually is your saving grace and is what really brings joy into your life. I have to say that, your interaction with others, that is your saving grace. However, the focus, let's say, of the casting is on here too the need for you to feel you are successful in reviewing your thoughts, your perspectives, your philosophy of life. Review that and feel that you're successful in how you go about things. It's this idea of success that you're looking for, that little bit of accreditation. You know, someone, you need the pat on the back now. And what the runes are telling me is that you will get that. However, it's again, if and only if you're able to go within, because that inward journey is what ultimately brings you success in time. And your concept of time needs to be frozen right now because you seem to want to go forward, but the runes, Yara specifically, are telling me that the exchange that you get, the gifts you receive, and the love that you receive is not only from other people that make you happy. The love, the respect, the spiritual guidance comes from going within. Here too, the notion of within is very relative. You know, how low can we go? How inward can we go? Where is that spot? Everyone asks me. How do I do it? Well, you know, if we just stop doing and just lay down and use our mind for a moment. I'm not talking about heavy meditative state here. No, I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about closing our eyes, relaxing and thinking. And that's it. And just see what comes to mind and see if you can interact with your thoughts and guide your thoughts and control your thoughts as well when you need to. There's Also, another very important message that they're bringing up, and it's the ultimate message really, is that to go on your journey, you know, and I mean journey metaphorically here, Cancer, we're talking about a journey where you're surrounded by silence. That's the journey that will have more influence on how you grow, how you learn, how you develop your desires, your wants, your needs. The silence within which you're able to relax and find your bearings is going to serve you well during this period and subsequent to this period as well. There's another message here concerning success and time. It does tell you, the runes do tell you that going forward means many different things. It just is not only the linear time and linear space, because people have a way of mixing time and space together and creating imaginative worlds and different timelines, of course. However, I find that you, Cancer, seem to push that away. You know, you seem to try to put a harness on those thoughts, and you want to keep your feet on the ground, and because there's a fear of not, well, there's a sort of a fear, if I'm reading this correctly, a sort of fear that if you do go there with your mind, the hurt will come again, you know? And it's not a hurt that returns. It's a memory of, because we never experience the same phenomena, and I would talk about phenomena, thoughts are experiences to me. We never experience them fully in the same way, so you can be sure about that. Every moment changes the way we perceive things. The same event, which is never the same, will never be presented the same to us again. So revisiting those will actually, in Escare, will set off a process of healing for you, whereas in the past you probably just kept pushing that away. So I'm going to ask you now, as a complement to the runes cast, to concentrate on 3 different decks: the Mucha deck, the Egyptian Tarot, and the New Orleans Voodoo, and I'll see what I'm getting as a reply from you. I have the Mucha deck. Let's see what they add to this. This deck adds to it. Wow, there. Actually, the cards, as an overall message here, are telling me to tell you, to convey the fact that, first of all, there are elements of the revisitation process that you really have not even seen the first time around, and it would behoove you to do and go there. That's one message. And they're also telling me that you'll need time for it. It will, this period from the 16th to the 30th, this 2-week period in September, is going to start that process, starting the convincing you, you know, starting the process of being convinced that you need to revisit certain things in order for you then to proceed in your life's development, and give yourself that time. I have an interesting combination here of two knights, pentacles and swords, and it's as if they're telling me that you need to reason the spiritual process through again and again and again in order for you to make, and I'm going to say a stupid thing, a qualitative jump spiritually, because it's as if, you know, I'm seeing here St. Thomas, the disbeliever, you know, the apostle who didn't believe and questioned, you know, and here I'm seeing, however, that these knights are pointing to Wunyo, the rune, saying that the true joy comes from ultimately understanding and putting some form of faith. Now this will take, you know, the shape that you give it, some form of faith in something. And I'll tell you why I say that, because I have the Wheel of Fortune here right underneath the rune and sandwiched between Need and Wunyo. And the Wheel of Fortune does turn toward looking again at those elements that you haven't revisited and didn't understand the first time round, but that now you can quite easily. It's not going to be without its difficulties, and I can grant you that right now. But after a period, it has to be done in small dosages. It has to be done calmly when you're able to. And the runes are giving you a little warning here. It's nothing very difficult or dire or worrying or concerning. And it's cautioning you about falling prey to sensation, sentiments of remorse. Don't go there. No, there's nothing to be remorseful about, because again, this is another time, it's another place, it's another experience when you revisit things from the past. But all in all, I see this as a necessary process for you this period, because the lunar eclipse is going to be quite powerful for you. And take that, I believe it's the 23rd, I'm not sure, it's 22nd, 23rd, this 21st, 22nd, 23rd, the equinox as a true, it's a date on the calendar, granted, but it is a moment where we separate the men from the boys here. And we do separate things that no longer serve us. And so that's what I believe they're trying to tell you, Cancer. Thank you for listening in, and I hope what I had to say is of help for you during this 2-week period. Thank you for subscribing, all you new subscribers, and all the old ones. Thanks for keeping me company. Namaste, and until we read again. Hello Leo, this is me again, and this time I'll be doing a reading for you for the second half of September, starting the 16th, this lunar eclipse. And the period also does, as I mentioned in the very beginning of this long video, it does include the equinox as well. Quite a powerful period for all of us in one way or another. And what I'm going to do is ask you to concentrate and to concentrate on what you need to know. Concentrate what is ailing you, and just concentrate on something that you would like the runes casting to communicate to you. And we'll see what comes up. I'm going to cast these runes. Interesting, as one has happened once before. I've cast the runes now for say four or five times in a row, and Yera has come out every single casting. And in this casting, there's manats on its side. They're antler runes, so they're carvings from antlers, and they may be 1/8 of an inch thick, say, not a third of a centimeter. And this one is standing on its side, manats, which is interesting. And we have some big messages here, all about time. Okay, it evolves around the idea of time, the passing of time, and what does time bring me, and what actually is time is the question that Leo is asking itself. Why is time passing? What can I not see? I'm not seeing that. I live in a place, this is Leo, this is you talking now. I live in a place where it seems foreign to me. It seems quite foreign to me, where I'm not, it's just not me. I have that sensation. This is what I hear a lot of you feeling and thinking. But at the same time, it served me so well. It's brought me joy, and ultimately it will. But this is an area of your mind that often comes back to haunt you, and I don't mean to say haunt, but it does come back to remind you that we're here for such a short time. Now, I have here Tyr pointing straight to Wunyo Merkstave, and it is a combination. It's a very cute combination, because it tells me that the very nature of your dissatisfaction, that pinch of dissatisfaction even that you may have, or that great depressed feeling that you may, any sadness in your life, is probably what is going to be ultimately bringing you success in this near this period. Okay, there's also a link with this sadness, this touch, it's just a tinge of sadness, some concern. It could be, it runs the gamut from concern to depression, but it has to do with the notion of home as well, and it has to do with a calling into question what your relationships are like. With whom, with this person, that person, is this serving me well? What is going wrong with this relationship? How can I change the surroundings so they will be more positive for me? And it's literally telling me that the relationships in your life are on edge. Okay, that they're on edge in the sense that they're not falling off the edge. There's tension there. And tension means that it's vibrant. It's alive when there's tension. If there were, in Italian we have this expression, calmo piatto, like the sea that's so calm, not even a drop, not even a wave. It's flat, and it remains flat in time. Here there's tension because there's a vital force that's calling into question certain dynamics, which is a very healthy dynamics, healthy experience for you. What's very, very interesting is that the time factor here too that has come back with along other, as has been the case with other castings this period. What it does concern is this relationship, the relationships that you have with those around you. Could be family, could be friends, could be a significant other, but it is a relationship in the true sense of the word. And it's a relationship because of the time factor involved, because of the number of years, because of the length of time that you have spent together. Now, the runes are sort of putting an emphasis on the exchange with these people in your life, this person in your life, and the value that that person, those people have to you, and they have made you what you are ultimately. Every time we turn a corner in our life and we meet someone, we come away with something, nel bene nel male, positive or negative. speaking. I mean, there's always an experience, and experiences constantly throughout our day change us and modify the way we conceive of things. And and you're no different. And what the runes are suggesting is that you do have a place in your soul that's questioning certain relationships, and take a look hard at what those relationships have meant to you, given to you, what you have brought away from that, and what part of you has changed because of that. Now, like the other signs, I would like you to concentrate on the 3 decks that I have in front of me. The Mucha deck, Tarot de la Mucha, the Egyptian Tarot, and the New Orleans Voodoo Tarot. I'd like to have your input on which one I should use. Take a second there. Okay, I have the Egyptian Tarot. Okay, Leo, bear with me a second. I'm going to mix the cards, shuffle them. Leo. Let's see what this fascinating tarot deck comes up with for you. Well, now, there's a, I can see next to Manat's on its side here, we have the 5 of Cups, and there is, this is just confirming the fact that you are revisiting relationships, but what you don't see and what you feel that is undermining your happiness in the home, and I'm literally speaking where you live, and what you don't see, and you're revisiting it because you think that there's something there you don't know and you want to find out. Well, the cards here, this beautiful Egyptian tarot, is talking about a celebration. Right when you feel you have come up against a brick wall, your nose is against the wall, go in, close your eyes, break out that bottle of champagne, a sparkling wine, and clink glasses. Raise your glass to any form of celebration, to anything that could be celebrated. You having found a parking space, close to home today, and or during your days. Here also, I see you as the you in the night here as really trying to learn exactly what it is. It's as if you're headstrong going toward that which is not right for you in your home, and it's as if you were on a mission. But the tarot are telling you that the tarot's telling you not to take on that burden, because it's not a burden for you to swim around in. It should not be your burden. You do feel it. It is heavy for you, because it's this tinge of sadness that you're feeling, and it gives you, it's almost as if you want to find someone to blame. And if you can't find somebody, you will take the blame, but you have to give the blame to someone. And that's not the way it works, according to this tarot deck and according to the cards that have come out, because what I'm seeing here is a King of Cups energy that at the same time as it swims in its waters of emotions, it carries rafts across this waterway as if its job is to shuffle, over, or to bring rafts and boats from one part of the waterway to the other. It's as if you take it upon yourself. That is your responsibility. Whereas here I have the Justice card, and the Justice card here talks about how universal time will balance out the responsibilities and the burdens, and there's nothing there that you need to burden yourself with, actually. Now, there's also the Five of Cups that mirrors the Three of Cups, and you're torn between, those 3 cups that are just not right. The 2 is still there, the relationships are there, the family, the friends, the companion, loved ones. But instead of overturning the 3 cups, you want to celebrate that as if a change needs to be celebrated. We're still here. Amen. We need to celebrate that. And then together we can take a look if we want. This is coming back home, actually, Leo. It's coming back home for you. I hope this was of help, Leo friends. I'd like to thank all of you who are new subscribers and for your support, and my old subscribers. Welcome to my new, and thank you to the old for supporting me. Now on to Virgo. Virgo friends, I have here the runes. I want you to concentrate on what you would need to know and what could possibly help you. Messages from these runes. Cast them. Well, we've got, whether you can see it or not, in this moment that seems to you so difficult that at times you don't know why you're going through it, and what is it that you've done, you think, and what has happened? I don't understand, But what the runes are saying to me, that it may be a moment where you just don't understand. But there's a certain flow here that has a momentum all its own. And it will take time for you, it will take time for you to understand, and for you to go into the, I'm going to use the word, the infers, we have that word, into the depths of knowledge, actually, of self-knowledge, of spiritual knowledge, going into the depths. It will take time, and it seems that you may need more time, but ultimately you won't be able to go forward unless that occurs, unless you have that reawakening. And I have 30 sets here, bright stave, that is in between this infer, this going into the infers, and the relegating the travel in and around. It's as if you can imagine, those of you literary buffs who've read Dante's Inferno, and where there's all of the rings, and there's for the gluttons and the sexual addicts and things like that. Well, here they're relegating you to a ring. They're relegating you to one particular. It will be different for everyone because everyone has different experiences. But they're putting your nose in it, if we want to use that expression. And but there are 2 sides to this story. On the one hand, it is a process that you do not even have to worry about, because it will take its course naturally, very naturally, and very smoothly. Your mind is what is causing you the rugged edges of the experience, because the pattern, the development is very, very smooth and soothing, actually. And you, again, on the other side, they're telling me that unless you go through the process, you'll be stuck in a windmill going back and forth and back and forth and back and forth. And what is, what needs to be done is that, going into depth. And I have this message for many of the subscribers this time around, these readings here. It's come out at least in for two other signs. And apparently this lunar eclipse is asking us, all of us, a bit to do that in one way or another. But in this case, the runes are actually telling me that you're, I want to use the word protected, but more than a protection, it is the smooth development of the nature of this process that should be able to soothe you and calm your mind and do it in stride. It's a new experience, all right? I'm not going to deny that. It's a new experience for you. It's not going and getting your car fixed or taking your kids to school or paying your bills or, cleaning the pool, or it's not that. It's not a chore. It's hard work, and and it sounds like an oxymoron, but it is. It's very hard work because this is new. This type of, it's not just simply a meditative state. It's actually asking you, requiring you to be present in the conscious mind and put your mind there. I hope I've used the proper words to describe that, because sometimes it's difficult. I'm going to pull a few more runes. Oh, this has just fallen. One has fallen. I didn't even pick up the runes, and the bag just threw one out at me onto the floor. And there you go. Okay, and what do I have? I have Kenat's Bright Stave, and Kenat's Bright Stave is really alive. It's alive. It's a rune that is alive, telling you that it will occur, that reawakening, that lesson, that here the words don't really match the ideas, but the keen sense of insight that you need is coming, whether we like it or not. And what the runes are saying, you can't avoid the process on the one hand, but remember that it is a smooth development. Do not fall prey to those pitfalls. Now, I'd like you to concentrate on these three decks of cards, either the Egyptian Tarot, the De la Muja Tarot, or the New Orleans Voodoo Tarot. Take a second. Okay, I have De la Muja. All right, for all you Virgo out there, oh, you'll be happy to know the first card out is the Sun. All right, you're going to be getting a message here. I have, messages will abound for you, Virgo. There's no doubt about that. What I have here is quite a transformative moment for you, and I'm not going to deny that. I'm not going to hide that. But there are two pages here, and the pages are the Page of Pentacles, the Page of Cups and the Page of Wands, and they're about and around Kenats. And not only, when we have the Sun next to Lagus, there's I have to say, there's no way that you will not get through this. It's a guarantee. You know, I won't be able to sign for you, but it's a guarantee that you'll pass this moment, and then some, and then some. And also, I'm seeing that whether you have tried or have decided against it, you are going within. There's no way around that, and I see that in just about all of the Virgos that I'm talking to, outside of YouTube, in my readings, friends and family. They're going through a process of inward work. I can only call it that way. And there's a transverse death card here right next to the Page of Pentacles, the Page of Wands, and sandwiched between the two pages. And this is definitely a transformation where, again, Lagos on a level with Lagos, there's this Page of Cups, where you are, the work is being done, the waters are moving, the emotions are running very, very, very high. You'll be reaching moments that you're going to feel that you have been graced with the love, universal love. There will definitely be moments that you'll feel that, but at the same time, that moment will come down hard and fall flat on the ground some days, and you're going to think, holy shit, now why did that happen? There I was, perched way, way up high. Why did that have to come down on me like that, you know? And but remember, the Sun is the first card out. Now, there's also another card that's particular here. It's the Eight of Cups. And the Eight of Cups is on the line with two runes that speak of the inward journey and mulling over it and being immersed in it. And they're asking you to take on a lighter, this Eight of Cups is asking you to take on a lighter perspective in terms of this precise period that you're going through. Take it more in stride, because it is just, in inverted commas, a passing moment, and you will get over it. Ladies and gentlemen, Virgo, and old and new subscribers, thank you for supporting me. The old subscribers, welcome, welcome, welcome to my new subscribers. Hope this was of help for the second half of September. Until we read together again. Bye-bye. Hello, Libra. This is Christelle Martinette, and I have here a bag of runes that you can hear. I'm mixing them up in the bag. And they're antler runes. I've had a very, very close connection with the antler runes. I've loved them and slept with them. I practically, I'm just missing eating them. And they're the ones I use the most these days. Let me see if there's if there are some messages for you, Libra, with this period going from the 16th. It's the lunar eclipse, full moon lunar eclipse. There's going to be the equinox as well, and up until the end of the month, let's say. Well, it's a moment here where you're moving along very happily. You may get the impression, Libra, that you are in a moment of low abundance, economically especially, where you are just unlucky, you know, as if this cloud has been following you for such a long period of time, feeling the brunt of the economic situation at a global level as well, more so than other signs, I believe. Of course, this is a general reading, but what I have here, the runes are telling me that you really are poised to move on to better days, and it's going to require you to do a number of things. First of all, to acknowledge that there is a certain amount of protection with respect to you. We are required here by the rune. Well, the runes are telling me that you are blessed with protection. You have the natural, it's as if it's going to be ushering in, this period is ushering in a smoother flowing period concerning your finances, concerning the way you make ends meet. And even then some, for those of you who are in a different position, it will bring in a moment of actual bona fide abundance. Now, it's a process. It's going to be a process of moving from, and there is that time and that space metaphor again, and the illusion that we're moving, but it's a journeying moment from the point of nothingness to a point of gathering, harvesting, bringing forth abundance to you. At the present time, the second half of September starts with the feeling that I can no longer take it. This is not for me. I can no longer accept the fact that I have to worry every single day how I'm going to make ends meet. The gift that you are given this period of time is your interaction with those around you, the circles that you frequent, the circles that you inhabit, the people you go to see, new people actually that you meet ultimately. And it is an extremely important portal way these 2 weeks for you, because it will condition the way the rest of your days literally are going to be conceived. And the same message did come out for another sign. I can't remember now for the life of me what it was, but it was to the effect that what happens now, Libra friends, will condition what happens up ahead. And they're requiring you, they're asking you, they're suggesting, they're also telling you where the key is. The key is in that gift of gab, in interacting with other people. Try not to, hide into into yourself. Go out and into circles where there could be interaction, because I'm not saying you're going to find the man or the woman of your dreams. No, it's about you coming into contact with energies that will push yourself forward. I'm going to close the window. It's getting a little loud here. Now, what they're also saying is the time factor is relative, but it's very, very, very wide-ranging. It's as if they're talking about eternity, the journey from here to eternity. So it's not relegated to this lifetime, but your soul, what your soul has to encounter. It's like Mission Impossible, should you accept it, is to interact on a daily basis with other energies in order for you to be enriched and move on. Now, be that as it may, I do feel that you yourself are at bay in terms of accepting that, and you fall prey every other day actually to the notion that, oh my God, I'm getting depressed. Oh, what, I'm going off the deep end, But smack in the middle of this casting is Lagos and Awats, and they're very powerful rooms in terms of how the development comes about. It's not as choppy as it was in the past for you, Libra. It is now smoother going. The waters will be smoother. You'll be able to navigate much more easily in this type of climate. Now I'd like you to concentrate on 3 different tarot decks that I have. One is the Egyptian Tarot, another is De la Muja, and the other is the New Orleans Voodoo Tarot. The Egyptian Tarot is fairly well known by all as my New Orleans Voodoo Tarot, because I use it so often. The De la Muja Tarot is sort of a fanciful display of artistry work, and it's very, very light, very spring-like energy. And for example, the reds are orangey burnt orange and not powerfully red. The blues are all different hues of blue, so is sort of a harmonious deck. It's a very odd deck in the sense that it takes a specific position when it gives you a message. I'm going to ask you to concentrate on one of these three decks, and then I'll pick that deck. Yeah, I've got La Muja. Good thing I told you about it. All right, I'm going to mix the cards, shuffle them. And let's see. Let me take a light. Hold on. I'm going to turn on a light to illuminate these beautiful cards. Okay. Now, lucky you, Libra. Now, what did I say? Not only you have the wheel of, it's a circle. The cards are spread out in a circle, 5 cards. And it's the King of Wands, the King of Wands, the Queen of Wands. So there's a couple there. The Wheel of Fortune, the World, and the Ace of Cups. I don't have to spell it out to you. There is a couple here, and when there's not a couple, it talks of unconditional love, ultimately the meeting ground between two people. And it's not by chance that the runes spoke of getting out there and interacting with people, because what you come away with is what you did not have before, prior to that sense of love. And again, I have to say that at the present time, you do feel as if you couldn't go any lower. Most of you feel like you just couldn't get any lower than now. But the Wheel of Fortune is right next to Fehumurkstave, and that goes into the world. It's a coming round. It's coming round again. All of a sudden, now we're in our own. We're coming into our own. And there is this circular movement to the card reading. But the lovely, lovely card is this Ace of Cups that ultimately crowns the reading. And the Ace of Cups does bring emotions, and you'll be finding that because of this interaction, these interactions that you'll have, you'll be moved to tears quite often. And don't take that negatively. Take that as a show of emotions, as the love that you're feeling, not the despair, because you almost always think of despair, because the love doesn't populate your days as much as it should for you to think otherwise. So I have here the Vera Sibila cards. I'm going to take 3 of them over the 2 King and Queen of staves, of wands. And yes, there's happiness, exactly. It's as I thought. I have the Donna di Servizio, the housemaid, omaggio di preziosi, the gifts, and allegria, happiness. This is a show of unconditional love that you come away with. And of course, for many of you, it is a couple coming together, meeting your match. That goes without saying. But since this is a general reading, what I tend to believe here is that it is a show of unconditional love that's going to strike such an emotional chord with you. And I'm going to take 3 cards over the Ace of Cups. And here we have, again, we've got the Giovane Fanciulla, the Virgin of the deck, so speedy, this size coming in, and then Imeneo, this intimacy card. Many of you are going to be receiving an engagement, a proposal for marriage, literally a proposal for marriage, an institutional proposal, or a very, very close form of that. But those who are not coupled and who are not in that situation, you're going to find that something new, in terms of an emotional pull, in terms of the emotional newness of a situation, is going to feel as if you have hands caressing you, because the feeling is so warm and it's so lovely. So if you are now, as the runes casting did suggest, in a state of despair because of financial reasons, do know that the wheel is turning and there is unconditional love in store for you, Libra. I hope this was of help, this brief reading for these 2 weeks. And I'd like to thank the new subscribers. Welcome on board. And a big hug to all my older subscribers who have been so kind in supporting me all this time. Namaste, my friends, until we read together again. Bye-bye. Hello, Scorpio. This is Christelle Martinette, and this time around I'll be using my voice, and you'll be just listening to my voice as I try to get in tune with you a bit more. It works better for me this way. I'm just trying things out. I have here the runes, and I'd like you to concentrate on what kind of messages you need, and what concentrate on receiving them, and let's see if I can help along. Well, it seems to me, Scorpio, that it seems to be more of the same, because I could remember vaguely the September reading for you, and I see that the process is underway, and things that you're going through are having a mildly transformative effect on you, because it seems you're doing things your own way. Very hard-headed. You're thinking that I'm hearing Frank Sinatra, I did it my way, and it becomes more important to me once I have been able to say, well, at least I did it the way I wanted. And that there's more of that now for you, and it's a very free-flowing movement. What it does do for you is to help you again distinguish who you are. But this is primarily done in silence. Of course, you have interactions with others, because transformation comes about through interaction as well. But the nature of communication that I'm talking about is at a different level. The actual words on the page, and the words spoken are not what is at stake here. What is at stake is you coming face to face to your destiny. This is how you believe it here. This is what I'm here to do. I was meant to do this. I'm finally coming into my own, because I'm thinking that this is what I'm supposed to be doing. Okay. Now, I'm going to take a couple of more runes, because I have Isa right smack in the middle, leading to Urus Merkstave, which is a bit worrisome for me. Hang on. Okay, yeah, well, I can see why. Now, the fact of going it alone, let's call it that way, the fact of doing it on your own, it does have a cost, and it has a cost. It's called risk. There's a very important risk factor involved here during this period of time. You may have the feeling at times that you're risking the shirt off your back. You may have the feeling at times that you have spent it all, you're risking it all, and you're, oops, sorry about that. you're risking it all, and they're going to take the shirt off your back, and your home, you're going to lose it. It's as if you're going to that eternal poker table and coming away with rags instead of riches. But there is, in this all risk, you've taken up you've decided to risk, okay? And what there is a very important exchange that does come about. Now, when you have to go through a situation that, all right, let's say that you're being passed the ball. I'm going to use the metaphor of football, American football. You're near the, you want to make, you want to score points. You're given the ball, and you kick it up, and it almost tips, you're dreaming, and as it is about to go over the line to score points, you wake up because you're there alone, and you realize that that ball was given to you from someone, and you're carrying it. And no matter how much you want to distinguish yourself, you have come from someone, and you have a lineage. And it's that lineage that for some reason you seem to want to dismiss, you seem to want to put aside, as if it's a bit of a burden for you, as if the house, I have the house upside down, Merkstave here, I have the representative of the woman, the mother, as it's Merkstave, especially on the line with Anzu's Merkstave, which talks about the unsaid messages between you and loved ones in the home, and going through that ultimate goal line alone makes you realize that you're not alone, and you were never alone. And you have this sense, not of remorse, but a sensation that, damn it, that was right. Why didn't I see that before? Why didn't I see that before? Okay, we are the sum of all our parts, and even then some, even more than that. But why didn't I see it? Why did I let time go by? And again, I'm saying this is not remorse, because this is within the time that develops you, distinguishes you with a risk factor. And it does, you're doing that very smoothly, you're doing it your way. But you get there over time and again, and you feel, why didn't I see that? You neglected to see something. And this usually happens to fire signs because they go charge ahead, But Scorpio, you're here that it seems you don't want to see. It's not that you're overcoming because you're hurtling and rushing forward like a mad person. No, it's as if you don't want to see something, but then ultimately it comes back, not to bite you in the ass, but to tell you that you're there and you are who you are because we were there too, and we were part of your life. So whatever goes into the soup there is part and party of who you really are. Now, to add something to this message with the tarot, I'd like you, Scorpio, to concentrate on the tarot decks. I have the Voodoo Tarot, the De la Muja Tarot, and the Egyptian Tarot. Take a second to think about that. Okay, I have here two messages, both the Voodoo and the Muja. Let's start with the Voodoo, a few cards, and then the Muja, a few cards. Yeah, the ancestors, the wild card has come up, which is a wild card, you know, is something in a deck, any card game that you play, is something that can be used for something else, whatever you want it to mean. And this comes next to the house factor, Merkstaven, in the runes. And the wild card here tells me, les barons, that you are using these notions of people, ancestors, as at will, every time of the day and every alternate day, in a different way, depending on how it suits you best. And they are your ancestors. I have the ancestor card right next to that, and le Grand Bois, the Congo card. And there's an arid nature to what you feel was exchanged to you, and your transformation now in this period seems to take on a sense of aridity for some reason. And so that alone should tell you that something arid, when it's arid, means that it's missing something, missing water, missing nurturing. Perhaps you have sidestepped the nurturing moment, or you feel as if you weren't nurtured enough. I have de la Muja. Yeah, exactly that. But I also have here a Page of Wands. 3 cards have come out that I have come out with another sign. The Page of Wands, the Knight of Swords. I see you, strangely enough, as the Knight of Swords, because here you're slashing through ideas here, one after the next. You want them to serve you in a certain way. The Eight of Cups. The Eight of Cups here is the necessary nurturing, starting, but in a moment of silence. It's as if you are wanting, there's a lot of want, there's a lot of desire here, but at the same time wanting to quelch, to destroy, to obfuscate, to cover those things. And I'm talking about this solar eclipse period and onward 2 months, 2 weeks. This is the rite of passage, the equinox coming up. You want to you consciously slay through those dragons because you only want what you want now. And it is that nurturing. But the Baron, the wild card, is there specifically to tell you that no matter how you cut that cake, that emotional cake, they will be coming. They are there, right? They are there. They just don't go away. You need to face that music, okay? That is the message for you, Scorpio. You need to face that in the process of distinguishing yourself, ultimately at the goal, you receive the exchange, and you are who you are because of the other people in your life so far. And if you'd like to get rid of them, you can harbor the illusion that you can rid yourself of them, but they are part and party of who you are and who you have ultimately become. I do hope this is of help to you for the next 2 weeks, starting the 16th of September, and have a nice time, and think of that rite of passage, Scorpio. Namaste. Welcome to all my new subscribers. Thank you so much for your support to the old subscribers. Let's go on now to Sagittarius. Sagittarius, here too I'm going to ask you to concentrate on messages that you need to know. And I'll be mixing the runes here. Concentrate a bit. Okay. I have sort of a standstill, Sagittarius, as if you've decided to stop and concentrate now. And you want to concentrate on your home because you're not seeing it. You need a process of visualization so you can conceive of what is coming up ahead in order for you then to work in peace now. I have here as well, I'm putting the 2 extra runes that have fallen out away because they were from the last, and I'm going to take another 2 runes. I have here as well a sort of another risk factor. It came out from Scorpio as well. There's a process of risk. You know, you have to accept life's risks and know that you are guarded by the universe. I mean, you have that. You really do have to take that leap of faith. And we're talking about faith. We need you to have faith and trust. And without that, you won't be able to conceive of anything in the future. You know, it's as if the runes are saying, fine, you're in a moment where you need to stop and think, and you want a process, you want a visualization process, so you can work toward a goal, fine. But don't become, this is an illusion where that you can decide now what it will be like later. Remember that. Remember that. 2 other runes. Yes, this process of not knowing is supposed to bring you joy. That's what they're telling me. It's supposed to bring you joy because it's the joy of adventure that's coming up. No, you know, on the tightrope without a net. That's what is in store for you. And you're going to walk down that tightrope. You are compelled to, let's say that. But there's a certain joy in not knowing as well that characterizes you, Sagittarius. And there is that spree, that sense of adventure that will come into populate your days. I want to take the obsidian here, just a second. This is a peacock obsidian that I'm looking at now for you. There is a very important imaginative life that you go through, no matter how concentrated you are, you know, be you a mathematician, a mason worker, or you know, an office worker. There is a very powerful imaginative life that you're undergoing now, that's characterizing your days, and it seems that it's a defense mechanism that you need. Well, take your time and go there whenever you want, but remember that the illusion is an illusion. The illusion of building something for future does imply an illusion. Now, it will serve you well, this planning and this imagination, because it will give you the experience of what it would be like. And if it at all can help in trying to foresee what your next step will be, Sagittarius, then by all means go and delve into the imaginatory world. I'm seeing here that that's where you will find respite. So let's go there and see how that could help us. I'm going to take now a moment for you to concentrate on one of the 3 decks. I was just putting my hand over the Voodoo Tarot, and a rune fell on top of that, and that's Otala, which is the house, which is above all of the other runes, and it's the key to not knowing is building your the imagination into the house that you want and the space that you want in the future. And it is the house that will be governing your thoughts despite any kind of work that you do. But ultimately it is the search for the house, a house, figuratively and materially, that will populate your days. Now, I was saying concentrate on these 3 tarot decks, the La Muja, the Egyptian Tarot, and the New Orleans Voodoo Tarot, and choose one. I have the Voodoo Tarot chosen. to start at the house. Otala. And that's a decision, yeah, decision. The plus card came out, and that's a decision. The risk factor involved, taking that ultimate risk. There are very many different levels of reading here. And one very important level is that the risk factor involved in not knowing and having to take risks is very prominent in your mind. And it may put you in a situation of delving into the occult, actually. I see many of you using your mental abilities to actually create the magic of manifestation, you know, if I could use those words. So great is the desire for you to conceive of a place where you'll be in the near future, that it has the ability of possessing you. It's a very well balanced spread. There's positive, negative, positive, negative, positive, negative. And on this notion of possession, here's some unseen forces that take over your mind. All right, let me put it that way, very blatantly, and force you ultimately to go within. There is where you'll find your home. And the decision, there's a decision also to be made. You will be finding that in this 2-week period, ideas of where you will want to move to, what type of job is underway for a change you want to change, where should I go? Those of you who are up against a change, this is a heavy period for you to entertain notions of that change and make decisions, or potentially set out an array of different decisions that you could make. There's also there's something here to do with another person. You're flanked by another person. Either it's a partner in crime, you know, a partner, a business partner, or it is a life partner, a significant other, a family member. But there is another person involved who may be investing with you, or who may be on the adventure with you, or who are making the decision. They're making the decision with you. But they're called upon, making noises here. They're called upon to aid you, to be by your side. But you, in some way, feel that you have a calling, and the calling is to be the house person. You need to conceive of the house. There's a Hungan card here as well. And I see you with that. It's a gut. It's a feeling in your gut that you have, that you need to conceive. And I'm using the word conceive very carefully, because it's as if you want to birth a home. You want to birth the idea of where you're going. It's as if you want the responsibility. You don't want the burden, but you want the responsibility. And through the power of your mind is where you have ultimately decided that it will come out of, that it will emerge from there. And it's very nice to see, because I have deluge, it's like the tower situation right next to Aljit's Merkstave, which is telling us of the risk factor involved. But the risk factor is there almost, it's a daunting factor, as if it's trying to give you a little bit of problems, but there are none. I've got at Awat's right over that, next to the Hungang, where you are nurturing those notions. You have a very strong control over your mind and what you want to do with it. It may be difficult if any of you out there use mind-altering drugs, especially during this period. You might want to be careful about that, because it will run away with you. Your mind will, and especially in this moment, so be careful with that. Because it's a very powerful period for you, Sagittarius. I feel, I get this as it being more powerful for you than others in this moment of the reading. So be careful with that. But know that Awats is there, Hungan is there. There's the nurturing process underway, even if you cannot see and know what is up ahead. And the windmills of your mind are possessing you in going through the motions of creating and emerging and birthing an image of what you want to conceive of as in terms of a home in the future, your activity in the future. You do that with another person. Have them help you. Shoulder that responsibility with them. But it seems it's as if it's an inner, not turmoil, but an inner job that you want to go through. I do hope this was of help, Sagittarius, for this 2-week period. And I'd like to thank those new subscribers who have come along. Welcome on board. And thank you so much for your support to those old subscribers, older. Namaste, and until we read together again. Bye-bye. Hello, Capricorn. This is Christelle Martinette with another reading, and this time it's a reading for the second half of September, starting with the 16th, a Friday, where we have, as everyone knows, the lunar eclipse, full moon lunar eclipse, the last of the year, and shortly thereafter there will be the equinox. So quite an important portal to go through. And so let's see what what the runes can tell you and suggest. I'm doing runes casting first, and then I have 3 tarot decks, and I'll want you to concentrate, as I want you to concentrate now, on getting the information you mostly need. Mix the runes a little more, and then cast them. More. Okay. Now, the emphasis is on you, is on your personal style, your personal mode of taking matters into your hand and going forward. The success rate in terms of how things develop depends precisely on that for you, Capricorn. The more you do the things you are best in, the things you are passionate and emboldened about, the better and the more successful you will be. And this is clear with the rune Weird and Sohilo right next to that. Not only, there is Therisats right in line with Gifu, and it's emphasizing the fact that not only will you be put in a position of becoming successful personally when you follow your passions and gifts, but you can always, and you will be in a position of exchanging your strengths, your powers with others and helping others as well. Now there's an entire Milky Way, I'd like to call it, a slew of runes cast over to the right, with Urus to the far left, upper left-hand corner. Now the conversation here talks not so much about financial stability and financial abundance. No, neither does it entail matters of the heart. It's a question of you walking into the light, your divine, your divinity as a soul, and looking around you in order for you to see how you can best spend that energy. Now, this is quite a change for you, Capricorn, quite a change for you compared to the past, because the past we've seen you looking elsewhere, looking high and low, making plans left and right in order for you to bring home an amount of financial abundance and a stability on the workplace. But here, the runes are talking, they're singing another song, they're talking another story, they're talking about the importance now in this moment for you to come into your own, that expression in English, to be able to come into your own, do what you know how to do best. And there's been a bit, and there will be a bit of serendipity for you in order for the universe to put things in front of you, one after another, that'll make it possible for you to then step into that role that you have. Now, again, I did mention that it's not a question of financial abundance. It's not a question of a relationship and interaction with others. Here, it's a question of you picking up your divinity, your purpose. And there is a time span here. It is talking about, the runes casting is mentioning how the expansion of time is quite lengthy. It's quite extended in terms of you being protected by energies that help you acquire what you need after that. So on the one hand, while they're saying that it's not a matter of financial abundance, nor is it a matter of the relationship or romantic realm, what they are saying is that this is just the first step. Those will come down the line. And the protection, you are graced. You're walking in grace. And this is quite different from what you have had in the past and how you felt in the past. And another message that they're talking about is that you don't need to travel as you used to do. You don't need to go knocking on doors and talking to people about what you want. You'll find that people will come to you. You'll find that you will be a pole of attraction as soon as you're able to know exactly. And most of you do. I'm seeing that the majority of you do know exactly what you want to do. And 3/4 of those have already acquired that specific job, that specific home, that specific contract, that specific relationship that has made it possible for you then to develop personally. But this here, in this present moment, in these 2 weeks around this extremely important eclipse, there's another job for you to do. It's something that has to do with you alone. It's you alone who has to understand the greater meaning of your life. It's not about getting a Mercedes, nor is it about living in Paris, nor is it about having a wealthy man take you out, or having the most beautiful woman in the world be at your side. It's not about that at all. It's about how you can value the daily steps that you take. And when you give a specific, and I'm talking about specific, I'm talking about personal value to your daily musings, your daily movements, your daily activities, and again give them the evaluation that they need, meaning that it is a present moment, and every single present moment then becomes meaningful for you, instead of planning to go to Paris, planning to go to Norway, planning on purchasing a Mercedes. When you're able to take one step after another without looking far down the road too far, too long, and too wide, this is when you're going to come into your own. And subsequently, that lengthened time span will make it possible for you to then attract anything and everything that you are needing. Now, to add to this runes casting, I'd like you now to concentrate on 3 different decks. I have 3 tarot decks here. One is the Voodoo, New Orleans Voodoo Tarot. Another is the Egyptian Tarot, And the third is a Muja tarot, de la Muja. I'd like you to concentrate on that for a moment. I've got two here. I sense the Voodoo Tarot first and then the Egyptian Tarot. Let me shuffle this. First the Voodoo Tarot. Yes, tension, a lot of tension. And now I'll prepare the Egyptian Tarot. Yeah, very, very interesting here. You're going towards stability, and you're going towards a stability that you cannot see right now. It's greater stability and abundance with respect to what you're experiencing right now. And the High Priestess is here in the Egyptian Tarot to tell me that you're not supposed to know or plan much further than the here and the now, because this will require a leap of faith and trust, and that is the key word here in this spread. What is interesting with the Voodoo Tarot here is that I have both the Magic Mirror has come up, the Major Arcana, and Rada Erzulifreda Daumi, which is a reflection. It talks about vanity and reflection. But what it's, and I'm always reminded of the novel, The Bonfires of the Vanities, Bonfires of Vanity. And here it's a question of leaving behind the worldly goods that you have looked for so far, and questioning what that tension is that the Magic Mirror is presenting us with. What are those unseen energies on the other side of the mirror and the visible energies on this side of the mirror? What dance are they offering up to you? And you will find after these thoughts and considerations, you'll find that we're talking of a spiritual realm. We're talking about a sort of twilight zone area where there's a dimension that has where the imagination, the mind, has a lot to work at in terms of understanding what that tension is. And right now, right here, you're in a moment where the only sword that you have to brandish is the sword of your truth and the sword of trust. You don't have to cut through anyone's bullshit, because with respect to you, people now are starting to tell it like it is. I'm sure you felt that already, and you'll be finding this more and more, because you're on a roll that's quite different from the past, and it's lovely for me to see. I hope this is of help to you, Capricorn friends, and I'd like to take the opportunity to thank all of my new subscribers, to welcome on board, and to really give a shout out to my old subscribers and thank them for all of the support that they've given me so far. Namaste, ladies and gentlemen, Capricorn friends. Now let's go on to Aquarius. Aquarius, I have here the runes, and I'm doing the same. I'm going to cast the runes first and see what comes out of the casting for you. interesting, quite interesting that the rune weird has come out several times, and as Sohilo itself, and the messages are really messages of the depths of finding a key to visualizing what your life could be if you were not in a position of having to worry or be concerned with anything. How you get your children to school, how you want to find the money to bring them to school, where your next paycheck is coming from, how to pay the rent, how to pay the internet bill. You know, you're imagining, and this is what the runes are suggesting you to do. Imagine that all of that does not exist at all. It does not exist at all, because what comes up is going to be coming up from the depths of your thoughts, from the depths of your soul, and the depths of how the energy, how far, how strong and powerful your energetic extension can go. I'm talking about extension because here there's a rune, there's Othala Merkstave, and it talks of, it's a key that you don't know. It is the key to the future protection that you have and you will be having and you'll be served with from the universe. Aquarius, I'm looking here at Sohilo in line with Algis, and that is a guarantee. Okay, that is a guarantee. And we are, say it again, that is a guarantee. But at the same time, and I've taken both the Moldavite first and then the obsidian to take a look at this peacock obsidian, and they're both very high vibrational stones, and it's almost as if the key that is missing, the key that you're not seeing, that ring in a chain that is missing in your mind, will be there, but you can't see it. You're not meant to see it. Here again, in many of the readings, the one of the messages that has come out is this trusting. You need to trust. You are to trust. You need to give your trust, And what's interesting even more so is that Othala is Merkstave right over Hagalas, and it seems that the universe does not want to give you any help in terms of how low can you go, how deep to go within in order for you to find the answers that you need. That is a personal matter, and if you've ever done it, you need to do it now in this moment in time, Aquarius. Now, the weird rune here, in line with this Othala Merkstave, it's all in line. Weird, Sohilo, Hagalas, Hagal, and Othala. It's a progression of the initial feeling that you can do anything. You can do anything you want. You have that feeling that you are extremely, you're undefiable. And just when you get that feeling of being undefiable, you stop in your tracks because you see that something's missing. And it's not a negative warning here. It's just the way it is. And that's where you start doing the work, the necessary work, in order for you to have the answers that you need emerge. I'm going to ask you, like I've asked the other subscribers, to concentrate on 3 decks that I have, 3 tarot decks: the New Orleans Voodoo Tarot, the Egyptian Tarot, and the Muha Tarot. And choose one. I've got 2 here. I've got the response in the Egyptian and the Muha. Beautiful, beautiful. Let me take out the Muha tarot. Yeah. There's an abundance of love, you know. There is one side to the runes that has not come out, and that is your strength in love and your strength in the sensation of I was almost going to say unrequited love, because Aquarius, what I'm getting is that there is a love that's unrequited, but there's also a love that's not discussed. It's a love that is not even on your agenda, but it is, you're experiencing it as unrequited love, but whereas in truth it's an unconditional love for you on the part of someone that you are not able to see, and nor are you able to accept. And quite frankly, Aquarius, I'm seeing that you are not giving it value at all. And what you're doing in this period is you're more or less taking stock of what you've done so far, and you're taking it as a personal challenge, an affront almost. The person, the loved ones, I'm calling it a loved one because they do love and give you love. And it's not in their own way, it's an unconditional love. And this is something that you, I don't want to say lack, but you're lacking now. Also, there are here two sixes. I have the Six of Pentacles and the Six of Cups, and this is a message of an outward message. Not only, it's as if you're caught between the past and the future, and this is evident by the Three of Wands here. You're caught between the past and the present. You have tried, you're really trying. It's as if you're trying to go forward. You want to go forward and give, find someone else. It will be different with someone else. I'll just use them for what I want. Let me find somebody else. And maybe it will grow into something that the other relationship has not grown into. These are the discussions that you're playing around in your mind. But in truth here, what I'm seeing with this Four of Pentacles is a rebirth. It's you're arising from your ashes, Aquarius, and it's arising, but as if there's this tutto cambia perché niente cambia. It's in Italian, that means everything needs to change, so nothing changes. You will be you. It's as if you have not been Aquarius for a long time. And seeking, we're seeking, endlessly seeking things, and even leaving aside those that just are a little bit too much for you. The responsibility of looking that person in the eye is just too much for you. This casting, the runes casting is telling you that the key lies there, looking in those eyes, looking within, because you're going to see yourself when you look in those eyes. Aquarius, I do hope this was of help to you for the second half of September. And I'll take the opportunity now to thank all of my new Aquarians, new Aquarius subscribers, welcome aboard, and to my old Aquarian subscribers, thank you for for being here with me. Now let's go on to Pisces. Pisces, I have, as always here, the runes first. I'm going to take the runes first and see what this period, the last 2 weeks of September, is kicking off with the lunar eclipse, has in store for you. Okay, there's some, again, some of these runes have been repeating in all of the readings, in all of the castings, and with the exception here is that there is the element of time, and what happens now will condition your future. That is undoubtedly the case. But what I'm seeing is here, you Pisces, you know what's occurring now. You have the sensation, you have the intuition, you feel it, and you know that your journey is bringing you to a special place. All the runes are bright stave, and you feel and you know that there's protection there for you. You're going toward your home. You're going right through the universal gifts that are yours. It's a lovely thing to see. And I remember, if I'm not mistaken, Pisces, your reading was exceptional even for the month of September. Now, there's the protective nature and the timing. It on the one hand, it tells you that in time you will be, in time there will be. But on the other hand, it also tells me that in time you will find the key. In time the key will come. Every turn of your route, every turn of the steps that you take, every time you turn, there's a key. And what's interesting, there's spiritual bright stave here. You're extremely open to be able to capture that and see it very, very clearly. That it's amazing for me to see this casting. It's probably the best that I've cast this reading round, truthfully. Not only because when you start with spiritual bright stave, and this is typical of a Piscean, the visionary zodiac sign that really has a sixth sense compared to all of the other zodiac signs. You have intuition like no other. I mean, everyone, we all have intuition. We all have a sixth sense. We all have a third eye. But the development and the refinement, the refined quality of it in this period of time, especially Pisces, is yours. You and what's interesting here is that you're graced to know on the one hand, you're poised to move in that direction on the other, and you are not in a position of chasing after time, because you're out of time. You not out of time, I mean, you're acting as if time is yours. There's infinite time. And it brings you such a sense of satisfaction and joy that, again, I have to say, it is a pleasure for me to see this. Now, I'd like to have you concentrate on the 3 decks that I have here. The New Orleans Voodoo Tarot that you've seen before. I've used them in my readings. The Egyptian Tarot that I've used a few times in my readings, and the Muha Tarot that I have used a couple of times. The Muha Tarot is a very playful, joyful, and light artwork, but also it has a perspective of interaction and negotiation, if I could use that term. You think for a moment, and I'll see what comes up from your collective thoughts. I feel the Muha Tarot. All right? Let me give them a shuffle. Now, they're very, very interesting, very, very interesting spread. I have 8 cards out, 8 cards, and there are 2 8s actually. One is the 8 of Swords and one is the 8 of Wands, and they are mirroring each other on 2 opposite sides of the spread. Now, one, as we know, is a very fast-moving, passionate card. passion coming very fast. And the other is you being blocked. Now, what's important in the tarot reading, I always stress, is not the individual cards, but the overall spread. And of course, our mind's eye does pick up certain highlights, and I have. But the paradoxical part of the spread is also of interest to us. Now, right in the very middle, there's this combative nature. There's this difficult battle that, and there are 2 sevens here. I'm just seeing it right now. There are 2 sevens, 7 of Wands and the 7 of Swords. So, in truth, that's a progression: 7, 8 of Wands and 7, 8 of Swords. Quite interesting, very, very interesting. You have made it to this moment through the sheer strength of your will. And you are going to be rewarded, because we have here smack on the side is the stars and the Wheel of Fortune. Now, life is life is life, and we call it life because life is life. That's the way life is. There is another card here that we did not speak about. It's the Page of Wands. The Page of Wands here gives you a gift, and it's the gift of time and the gift of timing, in the sense that whatever you decide to do, whenever you decide to do it, know that it will be the right time. You don't even need to go for further counsel on that. You will know that that is the right time. And it's the Page of Wands is also giving you the gift of being at the right time, at the right place, at the right time. The gift of this spread for you, Pisces, is time. There's no doubt about that in my mind. You're being given the gift of time, given the gift of time. And time, protection, exchange, gifts. There's just so much here. And the vision to know when and how to move on those instincts. You can't get better than that, Pisces. It's lovely for me to see. Good for you. I hope this was of help to you for the second half of September, Pisces. Let me take this opportunity to thank all of you who have been with me for so long, my old subscribers, and to new subscribers, welcome aboard. It's a pleasure to have you. Till we read together again, Pisces. Bye-bye.